Today, we are going to peel back the layers on a word that is so fundamental, so versatile, and, so surprisingly important to the entire English language.
Yep, that's it. 4 little letters. I bet you use this word every single day, probably without even thinking about it. But hidden inside this simple word is a pretty amazing story about how we all communicate.
It kind of makes you wonder, right? What if the real secret to powerful language isn't about memorizing big, complicated words, but it's actually about mastering the simple ones? That's the big idea we're going to dig into today.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start by putting the word line itself under a microscope, checking out its many meanings. Then, we're going to uncover its big secret, and that's going to lead us to this really cool concept called Basic English 850. Finally, we'll see why all of this is so important for clear communication.
So, first things first, let's take a closer look at this word that we all feel like we already know inside and out.
Let's kick things off with its most common job, as a noun. And you'll see, even just here, how much heavy lifting this one little word can do.
Of course, we all know the most basic definition, right? It's just a simple mark on a surface.
You draw a line on a piece of paper, and boom, you've created structure. You've organized the space. But this is where the meaning really starts to get interesting.
Suddenly, it's not just a drawing anymore. The idea expands to become about organizing things in the real world, an arrangement of stuff.
Like buttons on a shirt. See how that works? The very same word now describes a pattern, a sequence, and from there, it gets even more social.
We take that simple idea of a row, and we apply it directly to how people behave with each other.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. It's a cue. And just like that, the word line takes on ideas about rules, social order, even fairness. That is a lot of meaning packed into one tiny word.
And believe it or not, we're still not done. Line isn't just a thing, it's also something you do. It's an action. Think about it. You line up for a concert, or you line a cake pan with parchment paper. This word is a real workhorse in our language.
So, okay, why all this focus on one little word? Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in English, what makes line so special? Well, this is where we get to the big secret.
Here it is. Line wasn't just picked out of a hat for this explainer. It's on a very special list. It's been officially identified as one of the 850 most essential words you need to communicate in English. It's not just a common word, it's a foundational one.
And that brings us to a much, much bigger idea. This Basic English 850 list, it's not just a vocabulary list, it's actually a pretty revolutionary idea about communication itself.
850. That's the magic number. The folks who came up with this system, they argued that with just these 850 core words, you could say almost anything you need for everyday life. I mean, that's a pretty wild idea, right? Simplifying language down to its absolute core.
So what exactly is this list? Well, think of it like a starter toolkit for clear communication. Yeah, it was designed to help new learners get going, but its real power is in creating this shared foundation for people all over the world to understand each other. And for a system like that to even work, you absolutely need words like line, words that are flexible enough to do a ton of different jobs.
And this really gets to the heart of why we're talking about all of this. It's all about the incredible, often overlooked power of simplicity.
This chart here really nails the difference. Look, having a huge vocabulary is great. It's fantastic for adding detail and nuance, especially if you're a specialist talking to other specialists. But Basic English has a totally different goal. It's all about clarity and access for everyone. And this isn't just about learning the language. Think about safety instructions or a website trying to reach a global audience. In those cases, using simple, foundational words isn't dumbing things down. It's being smart. It's making sure your message gets across perfectly, with zero confusion. It's a different tool for a very important job.
And really, that's the whole point. Mastering these core words isn't about limiting what you can say. It's about building the strongest possible foundation for clear thinking and powerful communication. A word like line isn't just a word, it's a fundamental building block. It really makes you think, doesn't it? If you had to strip everything back, what are the words that truly do the most work? What's the most powerful, simple word you rely on every day? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks so much for tuning in.